What up, what up, what up? Welcome back yet again.
Welcome back.
We are here again for episode 6 with shirts this time. We got merch.
Got merch, guys.
Yeah. But this is episode 6 of our podcast. We
still
still do. So, episode 6, we are talking about finances. This is a heavy one. For those of you guys who were waiting on this episode, for those of you guys who know the importance of finances, it is very vital in any relationship. So my wife is going to kick this one off because I kicked off like the first 3 episodes. So I'm going to let you go back to back.
Okay. So when it comes to finances, we're going to talk about budgeting, we're going to talk about spending, and then saving, because I feel like in the beginning, when we first got married and blending our money together, we didn't really understand the balance between those.
We didn't really. We didn't. At all.
We didn't.
I know for sure I didn't understand it at all. I was lost.
Yeah. I mean, and I was too. Like, I was always used to having my own money. I was working since I was like 15, so I was always used to having my own money and being independent with my money. But having to share your money with somebody else.
How was you working at 15?
I was working at 15.
Just breeze past that. Was you being enslaved?
I was working at 15. If you were 15 and you had a work permit, you could work. You could work a part-time job.
What was I doing at 15?
Not working.
Playing sports like a normal child.
Working
at 15?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't help it.
Yeah, so I
that.
actually have really good work ethic because I've been working since I was a teenager. Like, because I came from such a big family and there was a lot of us, it was like once we hit that age where we could work and start like buying our own shoes and our own clothes and stuff like that, we were like, yeah, can we work? Like, I want to work so I can buy my own stuff and not have like hand-me-downs from my older sisters or like my cousins and stuff. So as soon as I could work, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna work. So for me, the money part of it, as far as like sharing your money and communicating like where all of your spending and stuff is going from, I think that was new for both of us.
So let me ask you this: where since the first bullet point is budgeting, where would you say you learned, or at what age did it really click in your head, like the art of budgeting?
Yeah,
because for me,
it is an art.
For me, it was never even a thought until we got married.
Yeah. Oh, definitely after marriage. Like, I didn't budget my money before.
Okay.
I didn't budget my money before because at the time, like I said, when I was younger, all I had to do, I didn't have rent. I didn't pay my own car insurance. I didn't get a car note until I was 19, because we were dating when I got my first car note. So like 19 is when I got my first car note. But before that, I had like my cell phone bill, $50, and then the rest of my check went in my gas tank and new clothes and shoes. So I didn't really understand the art of budgeting. I would say that I really didn't get serious about it probably until like a couple years ago, honestly.
Yeah, that's when
I was like, okay, we need to budget every month. We need to sit down. We need to have our little meetings, and we need to budget.
Which we didn't get a chance to do today, too.
Which we did not budget today.
Yeah, which is ironic that this is the topic.
Because
we didn't get a chance to do it.
We blew it on that, but
it will get done. Believe that.
And usually how it goes, guys, is I will actually sit down and budget, and then I'll review it with.
Yeah, I'm not actually a part of it.
I'll just tell him. Like,
I'm a part of the aftermath. Like, she does it all, and then I just like get to see it after it's done.
Yeah.
and then
And
sign off
because
on it.
I think number one, because you trust me with the money, like with the finances, and you really don't care to
I really
be a
don't.
part of it.
I don't. As long as everything is paid for, that's all I'll be like really worried about. Like,
Yeah.
cell phones are working, rent is paid, car
Lights
insurance,
on.
car note.
Yeah. So, what would you say in the beginning of our marriage was like the hardest part about, I guess, like sharing our money?
Trying to budget. Oh,
Yeah, not even budgeting yet, just sharing
our
our
money.
money.
the hardest part for me in the beginning of our marriage was sharing the money in itself, because it was like,
Yeah.
I went to work and I did these 40 hours plus a week, and I can't buy what I want.
Yeah.
Like, are you telling me right now I can't buy what I want? Like, I just made X amount of dollars this week, and I can't buy what I want because we got to sit here and figure things out. Like, that was hard for me
Yeah, it was.
to.
It was. And
not
I
be
think
able to buy what I
especially
wanted.
after when we had our first child together, and then like the first 2 years I had stopped working. I wasn't working.
Yeah.
And so you would be like, you know, be the breadwinner, but I would still be like, you can't buy that, or you can't.
That was really tough
You
for
had
me.
a
Like,
hard time
whoa,
with that.
whoa. Like, you don't do nothing all day but stay at home with the baby. I went to work,
Yeah.
and you telling me I can't buy myself nothing? Boy, I sure
Yeah.
came up out of that. That alone was enough to
Yeah, that-
end the marriage right there. You know, a man, you know, can get in his feelings and that pride take over. Like, I make the money here. I'm gonna buy what I want,
Right.
and then y'all start butting heads, and then
Yeah.
that's all bad. So I had to learn how to humble myself and actually listen. And you know, I mean, honestly, it was God who really was in that, because had it not been for God, it probably would have been tough. Like, if I was in my flesh and I was just, you know, not in the church, it probably would have went the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because of me
Yeah.
being in the church and being a man of God, I was able to, you know, talk to God about it. He talked to me, and, you know, I was able to come out of that
Yeah.
with understanding
Yeah.
and know that you weren't just trying to tell me, no, you can't buy something. You know, it was a purpose behind it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'll admit, it's a good thing.
Yeah. We've definitely messing with my feet.
Playing footsie.
We definitely have come a long way
Long way.
with our finances. I feel like we are now in a place where we are
We're kind of in sync. Not 100%.
we're not 100%,
Like
but we are
80?
yeah, maybe like
Good
80,
to me.
85
85?
on some weeks
That's what I'm
where,
talking about.
but we have definitely come a long way to where it's not like every week or like every payday it's like by the end of the weekend we're like in the negative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
We're not in negative anymore at all,
No, we're not negative at all.
which is good.
And I think too, it's come with like the promotions that we've had financially, but not just that, because I know people who make a lot of money and they still struggle with their finances. It's knowing how to really budget it, and also too, you know, tithing, giving back.
Tithing.
You got to give back.
I think also one thing that people
percentage is important.
what people don't do, which you actually started doing, is actually going back and looking at your bank account and seeing, you know, what money was spent and where did it go. People with money probably don't do that because they, you know,
Yeah.
well, I won't say people with money, but I'll say people like who have good jobs and make good money. They
Yeah.
probably don't really go back and look. They probably just, you know, spend the money and they just figure, you know, that's gone. You only live once.
Right.
And then they just wait, you know, for that next, you know, big check or whatever it may be. And then
Yeah.
do the same thing all over again.
Yeah. But I want to go back to what you said about when we're talking about like blending our money together, because I know a lot of couples who don't like, they don't share a bank account, and they don't like, their money is separate, and they kind of like, you know, you take care of these bills and I'm gonna take care of these bills. Whatever I have left over, I'm gonna do what I want with it, and I'm gonna, you know, you do what you want with your money. Like, their money is separate. And I feel like even though it may be working for them, that's still a place where that can draw division in your marriage.
Yeah.
Like, everything
That's
that you
space.
do in your marriage, it like, everything should be together. Whatever you're doing, it should be together. And even though we do have two separate accounts, one of them is joint, one of them is separate, it's we both have access to those accounts. Like, there's no secret hidden account somewhere over here that, you know, he doesn't know about or I don't know about. Like, we're in sync with all of that stuff, and I think that that helps us to stay in sync as a married couple, because it's like, we know what's going on in
we
every
know how much money
aspect.
came in and
Yeah.
how much money went out. It's not like, you know, I couldn't right now just go to the store and buy something and you not know that I bought it without seeing it, or, you know, you not knowing how much I spent on it.
Yeah, unless like you have cash or something like that.
Yeah, unless I have cash. Like,
And
if
it's
I
funny
use,
too, because like when he wants to buy me a present or something like that, he'll call me before and be like, I'm about to get you a present. Like, don't check the bank account.
yeah, because she'll check the bank account and then
I
it's
check the
like,
bank
oh, where
account
did
all
you
the
get
time.
from such and such? And it's like,
Yeah.
it's not a surprise.
Yeah. That's probably, I would say that's probably the only like downfall or downside, is that when it comes to that and like surprising me. But I feel like you're really good about, when you want to surprise me, you kind of like plan ahead. And either you'll take money out of the bank account like little by little, or you'll start putting cash away,
Yeah, the
because
last
you
time
know how I am.
surprised you, yeah, you didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't. So
That was perfect. That was all cash right there.
Yeah, I guess that's not even a downfall, because you can't use that as an excuse. If you're intentional about what you're doing, then I mean, you can always.
I want to piggyback too on that. Having the separate accounts. In my opinion, now, you know, if you're watching this, you may say like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not going to listen to you. I want to give you my opinion. We've been married for 12 years, and that is like, having separate accounts to me is just like, it's something that can always linger throughout your marriage, on why you guys can have the biggest fight in your marriage. Because, you know, it doesn't matter what it can be, the argument can be about. You know, it can be like, you didn't wash the dishes. But the fact that you
go
guys
back to
have
that
separate
bank account.
accounts, and you're always buying stuff for yourself, and then she or he is always buying stuff for their self, and you guys aren't coming together, and, you know, you're responsible for these bills, I'm responsible for these bills with my account, that's gonna eventually get old, and then you guys are gonna butt heads. Like, it's always gonna be tension there. But when, like you said, when everything is in sync, it just feels better.
Yeah.
It feels better knowing that, like, you know, everything is paid for, and we know where everything came from. Like, you know, when you say, oh, pay my car insurance, and I'm like, which account you want me to use?
Right.
You know, it's not like, no, you pay your car insurance.
Yeah.
I'll pay my car insurance. You know, maybe we'll split the cell phone bill. Like, that's just too
Yeah.
much. That's a headache to have to
Yeah.
worry about that. Like, which account money is coming out of, and, you know, which bills are being paid. You know, you may have a situation where, you know, the bill that you're normally in charge of is due on a week where you don't get paid, but your spouse got paid, and it's like, you know, well, can you pay the bill this time? And then, you know, I got the next one, and then they forget, because they like, I don't normally pay that bill.
Right.
Now you guys are butting heads. Like, I told you I didn't get paid. You know, just make it one. Just make it one, please. You know, just make it one.
It's just in our experience, having it together, it just works out.
Yeah, and like
better.
she said, we have to, but it's
Yeah.
it's not because like she's got her own and I got my own. Like, we have
It just
we got a
worked out
business
that way.
account.
Yeah,
We have a
it just
business
worked out
account,
that
and then
way.
we have a personal account. But we both have access to either
Yeah.
one. That's all it is.
And I think also when there's those separate accounts, or the, you know, keeping your money separate, it can also leave room for like trust issues.
Yeah, because
It's
you can be
like,
on the low
whenever,
with
like
just
you
buying
said, it
stuff
could
for
be
somebody
a
else.
little argument about something simple, like you didn't take out the trash, and then that argument will start to snowball into the fact that you have your own separate account, and well, I don't know what you're doing with your money.
Why you don't got
it
no
can-
money to do this or do
Yeah.
that? You know,
Yeah.
you ain't took me out, so who you taking out? You know, it's like, oh
Yep.
shoot, why I got to be
Yep.
taking somebody out?
Exactly.
Like, well, you ain't got no money left over, so what are you doing with it?
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
yeah.
don't
So
do it.
It's,
It ain't worth it.
I mean, to each his own, but that's
If it works
just-
for you, it works
if
for
it
you. But
works
I'm
for
just
you,
saying,
it works
eventually
for you.
it gets old.
What about
Spending.
spending when it comes to spending?
When it comes to spending, y'all,
Because he's
I
a
think
spender, not
this
me,
is
guys.
me. This is me right here. This whole little bullet point is for me right here. So when it comes to spending, what I've come to realize is it is best to communicate before you do it for a number of reasons. Number one, just because you need to communicate before you spend money because you don't know what needs to be paid. And that was something that I always struggled with. Like, I see the money, I'm like, oh, shoot, I made a little extra overtime. Boom. Yes, let's go. And I get ready to spend something. And then, you know, it ends up being like, you know, not, you know, the normal bills are already taken care of, but it may be something like I wasn't even thinking of, like, you know, or the kids may need something, or, you know, we want to plan to go somewhere. We want to, you know, something that, or, you know, a car, one of our cars need something done to it. And I don't think about these things. I just think about like, okay, I made a little extra, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that or something and go buy myself something. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is, it can cause friction. Like, arguments will be made over you just spending money and not saying anything. And I've learned that the hard way. I mean,
Yeah.
I've learned that the hard way, of just going out and spending money. And sometimes I mean, it's not like I always just spend it on me. I'll buy stuff for you or stuff for the kids.
You just
I just like to spend money. It's a
you do you
sickness
like
or something. I don't know.
you like new things.
I like having new stuff.
You
all the
like
time.
having new stuff, and you like for it to be like Christmas all year round. Like that's how I feel that you like to.
That's why you see the evolve with this podcast. You see, we got
Yeah, he's like, I
mic
need to
arms.
buy
We
new
got-
mic stands. I need to
Yeah.
buy the little cushion on the mics, and I need to get them. I'm like, okay, but it's
We
like
might
you
have
said,
a whole
it's
new wall one of these weeks. You never know.
we will not have a new wall, guys. We're keeping this wall.
We'll see.
We're not knocking down any wall.
We don't have to knock it down. I just saying it might be a different color or something.
No, it's not.
Okay.
But I don't think that that's a bad thing because, like you said, you're not always spending money on yourself. But I think with you learning to communicate, and you're still learning,
Yeah.
still, sometimes I'm like, Deontay, what did you get? It was only this. But when you have so many onlys in 1 month, it adds up to a lot. Like last month, you guys, I went through our bank account and I just started adding up because I was doing our budget and I'm like, oh, we make this much, but how come we're not able to save this much? And saving is our next topic, our next bullet that we're going to talk about. But I'm like, why aren't we able to save this much per month? And I went through with all like the extra random spending, like $5 here, $10 here, $20 here, $15 here, another 5, another 10. And I added it up for the whole month. And the number that I came to, I was like, wow. Like, this is money that we have nothing to show for.
Yeah. It's gone.
Like we just
gave that
away for no reason at all. So with that being said, savings is our next thing. And one of our goals for the beginning of this year was to work on our savings because I feel like we've gotten pretty good with the budgeting part of it. But we really need to get to the point where we can start saving more money.
Yeah. We've come up
Saving
with
more
different
money.
ways.
Yeah.
So we've got a savings account.
Of course.
Then we have one of those water things, the big blue
Big
thing,
5-gallon.
the 5-gallon water thing, and we sealed the top so that you can't open it. And I cut a hole in the top. I glued it shut and I taped it shut, so that way you can tell if it was open if you break that tape, just like when you break the seal. And we putting cash in there. We're gonna put cash in there, whatever, you know, loose cash, loose change we got. We're gonna put that in there, and then obviously we're gonna do
Put away from our paychecks. Too.
Yeah, we're gonna put that into the savings.
Yeah.
We're working on the saving. The saving is important right now.
It's important to have money to save just for a rainy day, for a sunny day, for a cloudy day.
You never know
in
when
case you're tired.
Vacation.
Gets flat. And vacation. Yeah, vacation. We haven't been on vacation in
a couple years
like
now.
2 years or just a year.
Jamaica. I miss Jamaica.
Yeah, so we want to be able to go on vacation, but not spend all of our savings on vacation. And I feel like that's what we've been doing in the past. It's like we've been saving for vacation, and then when we go on vacation, it's like, all right, gotta start all over again. But I mean, it's worth it. Vacation.
It is worth it. Yeah.
Vacation
you come
is
back
much
broke,
needed.
but you don't even care. You're like, we ain't got no more savings. But man, you remember on that one? Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. So
you be talking about your vacation for so long, you don't even realize, like, you know, we ain't got no money, right? I don't care. I'm still
on the island.
Yeah, I'm not even here right now.
Yeah, vacation is super important. Super duper important.
Yeah, every couple needs to have a vacation with just you and your spouse.
Yeah, just you and your spouse. No kids.
No kids. That's where you really get to
enjoy one another.
Enjoy
like uninterrupted.
Company. Yeah. You learn some stuff about each other.
Yeah, you do.
What you learned about me when we went on vacation? How competitive I am, huh?
That you think you're part Jamaican. That's what I learned.
I am part Jamaican. I was learning the lingo and everything. I was at home. I was at home in Jamaica.
You were at home in Jamaica, and like a week after we came back, you were still like
I'm losing it now.
Mode. So yeah, that's another topic.
Yeah.
But you have anything else to add about the finances?
I just want to reiterate and stress.
You always want to reiterate.
I want to reiterate and I want to stress. I want to add more on top of communicating when you spend, fellas. I'm talking to the fellas on this one because
it's not always the fellas.
It's not. Well, yeah, that's true.
In our
ladies
situation, it is.
Okay, well, you talk to the ladies. I'm talking to the fellas.
Okay, talk to the fellas.
I'm not going to talk to the ladies. They're going to be like, who is you? You don't know me like that. You didn't tell me what to do. So I'm not going to talk to the ladies. I'm going to talk to my fellas.
Okay, talk to the fellas.
That's why it's two of us.
You're right.
Okay?
Yes.
You talk to your ladies. I talk to my fellas.
Okay,
fellas,
go.
Fellas. Okay? There's a wall right here. Fellas. Before you spend money, I know it sounds weak and it sounds like, you know, you kind of punking out, but I'm telling you, check with your woman and just let her know, like, I'm about to spend such and such dollars, or I'm about to get this, and let her give you the okay. Because I mean, you can do what I used to do and just buy it and then deal with the consequences when you get home, and it's like, you can yell at me for this little 5 minutes, but I got my shoes anyway, so oh well. You know, that's what I used to do. Be like, I'm gonna get them. I'll deal with it later.
You used to do that
and come home. I do it every once in a while now, but not as much.
Not as much.
But like I used to do it with big stuff back then. Now it could just be something small, but you still may be like, really? It might be something for like $15.
Yeah, and it might not be.
And it might not be. But back then it used to be, you know, some shoes or something I come home with. But yeah, if you're gonna do it, just let your wife know, so you guys can be on the same page. So you know, you don't come home with, you know, bags of stuff, and you know, you don't know what she might have had planned. You know, I look back and it's like, what if you had something planned, but I just went and spent, you know, $150, $200. Now it's like, you know, you're mad, and I'm like, what are you mad for? Like, it was extra money. It ain't like, you know what I'm saying, I spent the rent. And you're like, well, I was planning on maybe, you know, doing this and that, but now we can't because you done went and spent $150, $200. But that's why I say check in, because you never know what your wife has planned. So, you know, before you buy them J's or them LeBrons or, you know, the Gucci, whatever you want to buy, whatever you're into, before you buy it, check with your wife. Make sure there's nothing planned, and let her tell you.
What if there isn't anything planned and she just doesn't want you to spend the money? Like, she's like, we should save it. How would your reaction be to that?
I would try to plead my case, like, okay, like, if we don't got nothing planned, but I just can't buy it, like, can I just, let me just, you know, I'll try to reason with you, say, okay, I'm not gonna spend 200, just let me get 100. Let me get 100 and let me get something, I'll find something for 100. And I do my hands like this. I say, let me do 100. Okay, I'll give you 100. I won't do 2. I'll do 1, and I'll give you 1.
Okay, compromise.
And then if you say no to that, it's like, okay,
I'm gonna have to go spend the 200.
No, I ain't gonna go spend the 200. My old self would have been like, you crazy then. I'll try to give you 100. You want to take the 100? Now you ain't getting nothing. I'm about to spend this 200 now. But no, now I'm like, you know, if you say, you know, we need it for something, then we need it for something. And I trust you, I believe, because you do the budget. So I leave it at that. And so we're on saving.
Yeah, we talked about saving.
Yeah, but I wanted to add to the saving.
Okay.
Because I mean, I just want to give my experience on saving. I don't know how everybody feels about saving, but the way that I am, like, when I see things start to add up, I get excited, and it makes me want to keep doing it. Which, you know, I know some people get like that with certain things. Yeah. And that's how I am with saving. Like, I may not want to do it, but once I start doing it and I see, and I'm, you know, start counting and be like, ooh, we had, okay. And it's like, okay, yeah, boom, throw that in there. Yeah. Boom, throw that in there. Yeah. And I just get excited to watch it grow instead of just waiting, like, as soon as it get to boom, I'm gonna just go ahead and try to start taking a little bit and a little bit. Like, I don't want to touch it. That's why I sealed up that thing like I did. Like,
that's why I told you we should do the cash thing, because I know you like to see it. Like, you like to physically see it grow and, like, you know, feel like you're actually putting it towards something. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, when I can see it, it's good for me. I mean, seeing it in the savings account is cool too. Yeah. But, you know, just like being able to actually physically put it in there and see it, to me, is just like,
I know you be looking through the little thing and trying to count and see how much.
I did the other day.
Yeah, I know.
I picked it up and I was like, because some of the ones was stuck together and I was shaking it. I was like, dang, get off. And I was looking like, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, I was like, we good. We good. Like, you know, by the time a year goes by.
Yeah, because we only been doing it for like a month even, or not even a month.
Yeah, by the time a year go by, like, and that's just money that we just putting aside just because, not even our savings.
Yeah, that's not even a savings account.
Like, whatever we decide to use that for, like we use that for vacation. Yeah,
we'll still have money in our savings account.
Have money in our savings account. Yeah, that's gonna be nice right there.
Okay. So I guess the last thing that I want to add is that I think that when it comes down to your finances, it really is a reflection, like, of your trust. Your trust with one another. Like, if I trust you with my money, then that's pretty good. You know, we're good on that. Yeah. Because people are possessive over their money because, number one, they work hard for it. Right.
They feel like, if I work hard for it, you shouldn't be able to tell me what to do with it.
And I know, like, for us, you know, we grew up not poor, but Like I had a lot of siblings, and you know, you had several siblings.
Yeah,
but you just like we didn't
it was just
from
me
a
by
lot of
myself.
money.
Yeah, it was just me by myself.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to have people buy me stuff. Like
Right.
I had to buy it myself from high school all the way up.
Right.
So it was like, you know, and that was just like getting a monthly check.
Yeah.
So once I was able to work and make money, it was like, okay, I'm gonna do with it what I want to do with it.
Yeah.
And that worked until we got married.
Yeah. So, I mean, it worked for me too until we got married. So I said that to say that when you trust somebody with your money, it really is, it's a testament of how much you trust them as a person, because I'm not just going to trust anybody with my money.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just tell anybody what my financial situation is or how much money I'm making. You know, like money that's a sacred part of somebody's well-being. So
yeah, there's probably, and I hope not, but there's probably couples who don't know how much their spouse makes.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Which that would suck to be working and not really know how much they're making, so they can't, you know, because if you don't know, you can't.
So they
budget.
can't monitor it.
Mm-hmm.
Or, that would be
what
weird.
I wanted you to share really quick too, because you're the master of this budget thing. I wanted you to share with people who will probably watch this, who may be thinking like, you know, what steps, or you know, how would I go about budgeting? Like, you know, everybody's got their own way of doing it, but I really feel like the way that you do it is like, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but I mean, like it's a really good strategical way, because everything is laid out, and because you do it with the calendar.
Yeah, I do it. Yeah, I budget on our calendar. And for me, I guess because I'm a very like literal person, so I need to like put everything out in black and white, like plain.
But I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, like guess how
Instead
much
of
or how, you know what I mean? I go to whatever the bill is, and I'll write like the due date. So I write the due date either on that date or on the payday that I know it's actually the day it's actually going to get paid. And I'll write it down to the cents. So like if it's $71.84, I'm going to write that down. That way I know exactly how much it is. And then, I write it down on each day. And then, so I'll write that like in one color, and then in another color, I'll write how much money is coming in. So I'll write how much money is going to go out that week, and then how much money is going to come in that week. And then that lets me know, I'll calculate that, and then that lets me know for that week, how much money we're going to have, like for spending, for gas, for groceries, for everything, just for that week. And I do it for the month, but then I go back and I do it week by week by week too. That way it gives me peace of mind, and it helps me to stay at ease, to know that, okay, we're in the green, we're in the green, we're in the green, we're in the green. I need to do that every single week in order for me to have peace of mind. For you, I just do it for the month. Yeah. We're good this month. We're in the green.
Yeah, it helps
but
me.
For me, I do it by the week.
It helps me because I can just look at it and understand without her actually telling me, you know, this and that. I can just go and look at it and be like, okay, so this is due, and then obviously she writes, you know, when I get paid and when she gets paid, and we know, you know, obviously for the major bills, you know. But I think that that's really a good way of doing things, the way that you do it. So, you know, and I wanted you to share that because, you know, somebody may, you know, be trying to budget but maybe not doing it right.
Where to start, or
they may not, may not know where to start, or maybe someone is doing it already but they're just not doing it right, and they're kind of starting to get frustrated, and maybe they're like, just forget the whole budget thing. But get a calendar and write it down.
Our bills are pretty consistent, and our paychecks are pretty consistent every single month. But I promise you, if we go through the month and we're like halfway through and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't budget, or I didn't write down the stuff, we'll be off. Like we on our spending or whatever, we will be off. And I'll wait till like the middle of the month and be like, well, now we got to play catch up because we didn't spend too much money in the beginning of the month because I didn't sit down and do that budget. It's something about like when I write something down and I see it and I tangibly write it, it sticks in my brain more. So budgeting is very, very important to us. And like I said, we didn't really start doing the budgeting thing and getting really serious about it until like a couple years ago. Couple years ago.
And
so
it's been the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been really, really good.
I don't get to buy stuff like I want to, but it's still good.
But you have so much.
It's still not enough.
You have so
It's
much.
still not enough. I like new stuff. There's always new stuff coming out.
You're right.
Like I know I can't have everything.
No,
but
you can't.
I like to get new stuff. Like, oh, it's been a while since I got something new. Let me get that.
Let me grab this.
The next topic.
Yeah.
Am I picking it?
Yeah.
Oh, let me see.
What's it gonna be?
Next topic is, do things change after marriage?
Do they? That'd be a good one.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. Next topic.
I know, huh? That answered that question. Yes, they do. On to the next one. You want to do that topic?
You want to do a different topic? You know what? We can come back to this because I still feel like this is still a good conversation piece.
Yeah.
But
that's kind of an obvious one too. Like, everybody knows.
Well, not everybody doesn't know that, but we'll talk about that.
If you ain't married, then you don't know that.
Right.
Because if you're married, you know things change.
You know.
Yeah.
But I did have a request for us to talk about in-laws and how we cope with our in-laws and blending, two families together. So maybe we talk about in-laws. That would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do in-laws. Okay, so guys, for next week we're gonna talk about in-laws, and that'll be an interesting topic. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page. Follow us on Instagram. _still D0.
I put the two rings because that's a part of the logo.
Yes, but it's D0. Follow us on Instagram. You guys can also listen to us on our audio at Castbox, and we still do.
It's the same thing. They can look up we still do. Or they can either way. They can do either way.
Okay, so you guys have 3 different avenues where you guys can support us. Make sure you tell your friends and family.
Yeah, please share it.
Check us out. We really appreciate the support that we're getting so far. We're really excited to be sharing our thoughts and our conversations with you guys.
It's a movement, y'all. We still do movement. The merch is coming. Hashtag it. Take pictures with your wife, your husband. Hashtag we still do. We want to make this thing bigger than what it is, because like I said before, it's not just a thing that we say. It's, we still do love each other. We are in love with each other. And we're not ashamed to tell people. We want to go out wearing shirts that say we still do. And people ask about it. What do you mean we still do? We still love each other. After 12 years of looking at her, I still do.
Yep.
So with that being said, I'm Deontay.
And I'm Maymuna.
And we still do.
We'll see you guys next week.